When we are building new garden beds, we want to think about the most effective approach to building soil and the least labor for building gardens as well. Because if you're like me, you've got more than just that one garden bed in mind, and you've got a lot of other projects on the go. And so the least amount of work for the best benefit is what we are always looking at. So before we get into how to design a garden bed or how to build a garden bed, what's the purpose of our garden bed? It's to grow food. So what we need to do is we need to build soil that supports plant life. Okay, so where in nature can we find really good soil that supports plant life with low maintenance? Well, my favorite example is the forest. So the forest floor is actually some of the richest, most organic matter rich, healthiest soils that I've ever seen is in deep forest ecosystems. Whether you're in the tropics or the desert or in the temperate climate, no matter where you are, it's in those forest areas or forested areas that we have the healthiest soil systems and the healthiest plant communities. So, what is actually creating that soil in the forest? Well, if we look at every fall here in the temperate zone, and it's not so seasonally associated in other dryland or in tropics, but in the temperate zone, we have some of the biggest, deepest, richest soil deposits in the world, and this is because every fall we have the mass production of whether it's your nuts, whether it's your fruits, whether it's your berries. We have all of these different things that are produced by our trees at the end of the season. And we have all kinds of critters like our deer, and not that deer are native to this area, but we have all kinds of critters that are coming in and eating these fruits and then defecating in that area. So we have a deposition of nitrogen from the fertilizer, right? The animal fertilizer. We have a deposition of nitrogen from those fruits that would rot in the soil surface. And after that, we have a deposition of carbon from the dead leaves that falls off these trees. So lasagna gardening is actually mimicking this natural soil building pattern of nature, of forest ecosystems, to deposit a nitrogen layer and then a carbon layer. What we are looking for is a dominance or at least twice as much carbon rich material as nitrogen rich material. Otherwise, I'm sure many of you have left your compost kitchen scraps too long. They start putrefying and rotting and smelling nasty. That's because you've got too much nitrogen in one spot, not enough carbon. And I'm sure many of you have left a bale of straw out or a pile of dry leaves out, and they just don't break down. They just take forever to break down. Well, that's too much carbon. So the sweet spot in the middle there, we won't get into it, but it's really balancing the carbon and nitrogen ratios in the soil. And so when we look at a rough assessment, we can get 30 molecules of carbon to 1 molecule of nitrogen is the ratio we're looking for, but you want to achieve that by going with twice the volume of carbon to 1 volume of nitrogen-rich material. This is a very average, it's not a precise science, but it's a good way to start. So we go, and when we cut down our garden area, we cut on all the weeds, lay them down. Don't till, we're not tilling anything. A lot of people will dig up all the sod first and flip it over. You don't need to do that. As soon as you put down your first couple layers, the worms come in and they eat up all the roots and all the plants that were growing there. So I'll put down all the weeds, and then we put down a thick cardboard layer over top. So thick and overlapping 6 to 8 inches, because otherwise your weeds are going to find their way up and through. So go get yourself some cardboard, soak it overnight, peel off all the stickers, peel out all the elements, and then you're going to pile it overlapping so that you kill those weeds. And when you cover it to kill the weeds, it will kill the weeds over one season, and next season the cardboard will be completely destroyed and eaten by the worms, the earthworms that you've attracted to that site. And so you then go with carbon, nitrogen, carbon, nitrogen, carbon, nitrogen, always finishing with a layer of carbon on top. Like you'll see in any forest or natural ecosystem, it's always a carbon layer that protects the surface of the soil. So this technique can be done in containers, it can be done in garden beds. There's a really great book called Lasagna Gardening that you can check out, or we also have a free guide to lasagna gardening available on our website.